Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your August 2019 general reading. As I'm shuffling these cards, I have two decks of tarot cards that I am shuffling. The first one is the Golden Tarot by Cat Black, and the second deck that I'm using for clarifying is the Goddess Tarot. And I'm also pulling a guidance card from the Soul's Journey. When I was shuffling both decks, the Golden Tarot and the Goddess Tarot, in both decks, the Nine of Pentacles came up as I was shuffling. One came up upright and one came up in reverse. And so what I'm instantly feeling from that is that during the month of August, and again, the sun is going to be in your 12th house, so there's going to be some illuminating in that area for you. I feel like there is something that is going to bring awareness for you during the month of August. And what I really feel that this is going to be is an opportunity to see something that maybe you are taking for granted that that you value. Like, I feel like this is going to be an enlightening month as far as recognizing something again that I just feel like you take for granted is there. I feel like it's going to take losing something in order to appreciate the value that it had for you. So just be aware of that, be cautious of that, and, try to keep that in mind as you're going through the month of August. And, maybe there can be some shift in, changing that situation. Right above, so right off the bat here, we got the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Five of Cups in reverse, and the Five of Coins in upright. So, I mean, this really is, and look at the bottom of the deck from the Goddess Tarot. There it is again. So for some of you, maybe you're catching this early enough. Maybe this is going to trigger something for you. Maybe this is going to bring some awareness for you before something turns into a negative situation. Maybe you can just recognize it and make that conscious effort and action, take that action to shift that for you. So for some of you with this Eight of Wands in reverse, I feel like, there's going to be movement, and again, in a backwards direction. Like, maybe you've been working through some stuff, and whatever these things are, it could be relationships, could be job, could be money, could be whatever this is for you. I feel like you've been taking steps forward in a positive direction, and now I feel like there's something that's being shown to you, that's being enlightened during this month of August, that could set you back. With this Five of Cups in reverse, I feel, if you've just come through a situation of disappointment, of loss, of something like that, I do feel like this energy is kind of turning something backwards. I feel like it's moving something, like you've taken steps forward, like 5 steps forward now because of whatever it is. And I really kind of feel whatever this is a lack of appreciation, lack of emotional reciprocation. I just feel like there's something that's not balanced, whatever this is, and I don't necessarily feel like it's an intentional thing. I just feel like it's something that's being overlooked, or you're not aware of, or you're not really seeing clearly. And so just be cautious of that. With the Five of Coins in upright, I mean, this is a card of feeling a lack, a need of something, of wanting something. And I feel like what you are lacking or in need of, or you're feeling this lack around, has something to do with this taking a step backwards, or this, loss of something maybe that you didn't appreciate, or something that you took for granted. That's really how this is resonating with me. However, if this resonates with you, it does. It does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's fine. Here's some clarity. So we have the Nine of Swords upright. So this talks about worry, stress, anxiety. I'm really feeling you had things going pretty smoothly moving forward. And for whatever reason, there was something that just, I do feel it wasn't balanced. I feel like it was kind of like something that you were just taking for granted. And unfortunately, I feel like it's going to, that energy is going to shift for whatever this is. And it's going to be like taking a step backwards. And whatever this, hope, fingers crossed that you can catch this, recognize this, and do that inner work to shift this and avoid this, is what my fingers are crossed and hoping for you. Because if you don't, this is what I'm seeing, is that it's going to cause some stress, some anxiety, some worry, some sleepless nights. Look, I wasn't kidding when I told you about the, and this is a 5 on the 5. So I feel for those of you who are going to recognize this and to see this and to, create that shift, that change, recognize it, do that work, make this thing right, because I feel like there's that opportunity. Some of you may not see it. Some of you may not want to see it. Some of you may just think whatever it is that you think. So I feel that for some of you, you're going to have this experience. For whatever that reason is, you're going to have it. For others of you, who, you may recognize when you're listening to this reading, or this is resonating with you, and you're kind of like getting, things stirred up, and, things coming up to the surface for you, you're going to recognize what it is that you could lose, and I feel like you're going to prevent that. I feel like you're going to do that work that shifts that to recognize that this is something that you value, that you appreciate, and that you don't want to lose. And you're going to catch yourself before that experience lands on your plate. And like, if you look at, okay, let's do this. If you look at this card, and I'm even going to put this right side up for a second. This person is just looking down and looks more focused on the loss, like, instead of focusing on what's still standing. So I feel like some of you are just going to be so focused on what it is you want, your needs, that you're not looking at, the bigger picture of things. Now, with this 5 of Cups, this person is like walking away and not focusing that attention on the loss, the disappointment, and are moving towards what's still there, what's standing, what's available in the future moving forward. Sorry about the hand in front of all these cards. So I do feel like this is really going to be split. I feel like some of you are going to recognize this and deal with it. And I feel like some of you are not going to. And, either way, the experience is going to be part of your growth. Either way, whether you recognize this and you do that growth work willingly with the flow, or you don't want to recognize it for whatever reason that is, and then you have this experience that you're going to grow from anyways. So, and here is the Justice card in reverse. So, and I've said this, I felt like something was not balanced, and I feel like the opportunity is there for you to put this situation in check, to recognize this, to create or to, shift that energy, to be aware of this, to create that change. And some of you, not so much. And I do feel with that justice in reverse that, that's really talking about the experience that brings awareness to what your actions, your things. I do feel like it's actions. I be with the Eight of Wands in reverse like that. I feel like it's something you do or something you say that just brings this experience about. And for some of you, you're going to see the imbalance before it becomes an issue, and you can, kind of course correct yourself. And for others of you, you're just going to see this experience in order to recognize the imbalance and the injustice. And here is your soul's journey card, forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. This really is resonating with me as far as with this especially is having to recognize where that imbalance, where the give and the take is not balanced out. It's not equal. And I've said this from when this very first started. I felt like it was not appreciating something, someone, whatever that is. And this card would really indicate that is exactly what you'll be looking at during the month of August. I hope this serves you well, and please leave me a comment or a thumbs up if this is resonating with you. I'd love to hear how this comes out for you. And if this is resonating with you, please look at that. Look at what that can be in order to shift that and, get this back in check. So I hope you have a fantastic month in August, and I will see you back here next month.